Hey there, viewers! When you're trying to shed pounds, little changes in your diet can make a huge difference. Making small changes is easier because you don't feel as deprived. These feelings can derail anyone's best weight loss intentions. In the long run, small changes will lead to big results. And the first big step? Swap unhealthy foods for healthy ones. These foods won't overstimulate the reward pathways in your brain like processed foods, meaning you'll be less tempted to overeat them. In today's video, we'll tell you about food swaps that'll help you lose weight in no time. From swapping spaghetti squash for white pasta, dried fruits instead of fresh fruit, Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, sweet potatoes instead of potatoes, to whole orange instead of orange juice, and more. Watch until the end to learn about all of them. Number 1. Scrambled eggs with veggies instead of an egg sandwich. Filled with fiber, veggies will give you a longer-lasting energy boost than the empty carbs in a sandwich. Plus, the generous helping of tomato, mushroom, or spinach in your eggs is a flavorful way to sneak in at least one of your 5 a day. 2 large eggs scrambled with half a cup of spinach comes to 150 calories. A far cry from the 290 calories you'll find in a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. What's your favorite way to prepare eggs? Tell us quickly down below in the comment section. Number 2. Americano instead of latte. Sticking with the straight stuff gives you a more concentrated dose of coffee, and it's free radical-fighting antioxidants. After all, research has found that coffee is the greatest source of antioxidants in the American diet. Even if you can't stand black coffee, a splash of low-fat milk, a drizzle of honey, or a dash of good-for-you cinnamon can still help you save hundreds of calories over a latte. It gets those extra calories from the steamed milk, added flavors, and sugar. Number 3. Spaghetti squash over white pasta. Automatically make your pasta a veggie-filled one with this low-calorie, high-fiber replacement. In addition to saving you close to 200 calories, the squash's generous helpings of vitamin C, folate, and magnesium will increase your energy. Number 4. Kale chips instead of potato chips. You can eat a cup and a half of kale chips for just 84 calories, while the same amount of potato chips will set you back more than 200. A serving of kale hits your entire daily requirement of vitamin A and C, not to mention a generous helping of calcium and folate. Number 5. Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. Plain Greek yogurt and sour cream are so similar in taste and texture that you really have no excuse not to use the lean, protein-packed alternative. As a fajita topper, sauce base, or chip dip, a dollop of Greek yogurt can save you 20+ grams of saturated fat, while more than doubling your protein. Number 6. Extra virgin olive oil over butter. Both pack fat, sure, but not all fats are created equal. While butter is a big source of artery-clogging saturated fat, extra virgin olive oil has healthy unsaturated fats. Olive oil promotes higher levels of the satiety hormone serotonin, which prevents overeating. Feel like you're missing out? Make sure you join millions of followers by hitting that subscribe button and staying up to date on all of our great bestie content. Number 7. Broth-based soup instead of cream-based. Soup is the epitome of comfort food and a mainstay for dieters. But many cream-based soups can drown you in fat. By changing to broth-based soups like chicken vegetable instead of cream of broccoli, you can save 105 calories and savor just 4 grams of fat per serving. Make this change once a week and cut out 5,460 calories a year, or roughly 1.5 pounds. Number 8. Diet soda with seltzer water. Drinking calories, especially in the form of sweetened beverages, is displacing otherwise nutrient-dense foods. Even though diet sodas have no sugar or calories, they're not a good alternative for regular soda. Some studies have found that artificial sweeteners can trigger insulin in the same way as sugar, leading to weight gain. There are also concerns about the long-term health effects of these sweeteners. An effective and delicious alternative to chemicals in a can is a glass of seltzer water flavored with lemon, fresh berries, cucumbers, or mint. Number 9. Starchy side dish for a colorful side of vegetables. If you usually serve bread, rice, noodles, or potatoes as a side dish, consider swapping them out for colorful vegetables. Those sides often are high in carbohydrates and calories. Eating a side of vegetables can provide you with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that your body needs with fewer calories. When selecting vegetables, colorful ones with high water content or fiber can help you feel full with less calories. Number 10. Dried fruits for fresh fruit. If you'd like to grab a pack of dried fruit for a snack, you can save yourself some calories and help feel fuller for longer by eating fresh or frozen fruit instead. Dried fruits have had all the water removed from them, so they're more calorie dense. Fresh fruit is typically high in water along with various nutrients, fiber, minerals, and vitamins. As a result, you'll feel fuller after eating a fresh, crisp apple compared to dried. Number 11. Fat-free milk for whole milk. Whole milk is almost always a better option since it contains fat-soluble vitamin A and D. Since these need some fat for proper absorption, whole milk is the perfect medium. Milk fat also contains special fatty acids known as CLA. In fact, whole milk is one of the highest naturally occurring sources of CLA. A common supplement in the sporting world, it prevents fat deposition in fatty cells. This means it can help existing fat cells from getting larger. CLA also has anti-carcinogenic and anti-diabetic properties as well. Number 12. Microwave popcorn with home-popped popcorn. Popping your popcorn at home instead of microwaving it lets you control the kind of fat you're using as well as the quantity. Ready packets, to save cost, compromise on quality and are not great for your health. You also have no control over the quantity of oil and butter used. Home popcorn allows you to pop only as much as you'd like to eat. Number 13. Maple syrup instead of sugar. Although all sugars are high in calories and should be eaten in moderation, if you must use a sweetening product, pure maple syrup is a healthier option than refined sugars. While refined sugars are stripped of nutrients, maple syrup is packed with minerals, including manganese, calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, and zinc, as well as antioxidants. Maple syrup also has a lower glycemic index ranking than table sugar. Number 14. Sweet potatoes instead of potatoes. Although potatoes contain several nutrients, sweet potatoes may be a better option for those watching their weight. Potatoes are high on the glycemic index and can lead to energy slumps and cravings. Sweet potatoes are complex carbohydrates with much lower GI rankings. In addition to this, sweet potatoes are packed with minerals and vitamins, including the antioxidant beta-carotene. Number 15. Porridge instead of breakfast cereals. While packaged breakfast cereals may look like a healthy option, they're laden with sugar. Not only does this add to the overall calories consumed, it can lead to a mid-morning slump, leaving you craving more. Instead, try starting your morning with a bowl of porridge. It's not only packed with nutrients, but it's also a good source of slow-releasing energy that'll fill you up quicker and keep you feeling full for longer. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day, and it's very important to begin the day by eating the correct foods. Learn more by watching 12 healthiest foods you should eat in the morning. Now, back to healthy food swaps to slash calories. Number 16. Homemade sauce instead of jarred ones. Most pre-made sauces are heavily processed, packed with unnecessary sugars and salt, and contain chemical preservatives to keep them fresh. Rather than filling your cupboards with jars and bottles, try making your own sauces from chopped tomatoes, herbs, spices, and a variety of fresh vegetables. Not only will you be skipping all the nasty additives and extra calories, you'll boost your intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Number 17. Whole orange instead of orange juice. Skip the 12-ounce glass of orange juice. Eat a fresh orange instead. 1 cup of OJ has 21 grams of sugar, double the amount in an orange. Plus, you'll tack on an extra 3 grams of fiber too by eating the whole fruit. Number 18. Herbs instead of salt. To help reduce the amount of salt you eat on a daily basis, try swapping salt for herbs and spices to add flavor to your dishes. Or if you like your dishes a little spicy, opt for ginger, basil, coriander, or curry powder, which are great for those who want to add a bit of heat. Number 19. Cheddar cheese for goat cheese. Love cheese? You don't have to ditch it altogether. Try adding a little variation. You can go for a softer cheese. Cottage cheese and quark are all great sources of calcium that aren't too high in fat. Hard cheeses like cheddar is high in fat and calories, so it's important to keep an eye on how much of it you're eating. Number 20. Refined grains for whole grains. At least half of your total daily grains should come from whole grains. People who eat plenty of whole grains tend to be leaner and have a lower risk of heart disease than those who don't. What's more, whole grains like brown rice, oats, quinoa, and bulgur have their bran intact, so they have more fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, and other important nutrients. Number 21. processed meats with lean meats and plant-based protein. Eating processed meats like hot dogs, sausage, corned beef, bologna, and bacon can raise the risk of colon cancer. It may be linked to prostate and pancreatic cancer as well. We're not saying you need to cut it out completely, but if your go-to lunch is a BLT or Reuben, it's time to cut back. Try canned tuna or salmon instead, or turkey or chicken breast without the skin. Sneak in more plant-based proteins like hummus, peanut butter, and black beans. They're high in fiber, low in calories, and deliver a ton of health benefits. While these food swaps can help you lose weight, there are other tips that can help you on this journey as well. Learn more about these tips by watching 16 quick but strange weight loss tips you can use, or 13 smart weight loss tips for women. Are there any foods in your daily diet that you'd like to swap? Let us know in the comments below.